From 0 to 17,000 in an investment portfolio in less than 3 years using super passive strategy. Interested in seeing that in practice? Today we're doing exactly that. And it's not just with random money, it's with my own money. Now, back in September 2022, I'd had enough of hearing that you have to invest huge sums to actually see results. So I decided to prove that with a real life example. If you're here for the first time, my name is Emilis. I'm a European investor sharing my journey to teach others simple yet effective investing strategies. Now, let's go through the experiment one more time. I set 3 clear portfolios with identical contributions. 1,000 euros to start, then 100 euros every month. Now, portfolio 1 is very simple, VWCE and Chill, an all-world ETF covering developed and emerging markets. Purely passive strategy, about 1 minute a month to buy the same ETF again and again. We can actually have a look at that portfolio. This is 8017, and I share the strategy. You can follow along. Over 500 people already follow along the strategy, and I simply buy VWCE. Now, to compare the results very easily, just compare the total sum of an actual portfolio, because sometimes I buy units, sometimes I sell units on my active portfolio, and you can't really see all of them very clearly. So the easiest way to compare if it's doing better or worse is by simply investigating the overall sum. Now, VWC is the only position here. I continue to buy more and more units, and I don't do anything else. I simply ignore it, and I spend around 1 minute a month to just simply manage this portfolio. And usually it takes me a little bit longer, purely because I also film it each month since I started the experiment. Now, portfolio 2 is the S&P 500 portfolio. So 5,000 there, 5,122 here. 740 people like America more and follow the strategy where I simply invest in VUA. Now you can see that results is over 30% already. It earned me over 1,000 euros sort of in unrealized gains. And overall, it's just slightly above the old world experiment. So you can say that it's quite similar strategies overall, because all world ETF focuses with like 60% plus in the same America. And S&P 500 obviously is the classic top 500 American companies. Same 1 minute commitment here. So you could say one strategy is all world and chill, another strategy is S&P 500 and chill, and the third strategy is no chill but stocks. So this is active strategy overall, and over 600 people follow along, and you can see that it's almost 7,000. So I'm currently beating the indexes by roughly 2,000 euros, a little bit less, like 1.9, 1.8K. And in this one, I do all sorts of different things. So if I go on trades, you can see all of this information. Some of them are very little. Some of them are securing quite a significant amount of profit. Now, if I look at the profile in a little bit more detail, currently one of the biggest businesses altogether, which makes a lot of money for me, is Freedom Holding. It's over 100% plus. And it's not yet realized because I still think that the company can be sort of bigger and can make more money on the side. But this is, again, active strategy, so I can sometimes buy, sometimes sell, and without any warning or without any specific explanation. On the other 2 strategies, I simply dollar cost average and invest spending 1 minute a month. And as I mentioned, to compare accurately, I simply look at the total value. So we have 6.9K in here, 5.1K in S&P 500, a little bit less than 5.1K in the all world ETF. Overall, over 17,000 euros. Of course, I have my main portfolio. That's also available if you want to follow it. But if you want to follow any of these portfolios, you'll have to register with Freedom24, which is for free, just to see and have that visibility of what I do, what the portfolio is, what trades I do, and so on and so on. If you're interested, you know where to find the links. Now, 2 years ago, some said it was bad timing. Well, timing is never perfect, but usually win not by timing the market, but by staying in the market for a significant period. How can you make this part easier? Start early and keep a long-term horizon for your strategy. And some said that 100 euros is nothing. Well, I do have a 7,000 portfolio to argue that it can become a big thing if you're consistent enough. And of course, if you want bigger results, you can always invest bigger sums. And some of you might ask, what if I lose everything? Well, if you think the top 3,500 companies from developed and emerging markets in the world will all go bankrupt at once, you might want to redo that research altogether. If you think that's impossible, well, I agree. And this video is just a milestone on the way to bigger things. I hope it inspires some of you to take action and start your investing journey. Quick reminder, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in a comment, and I'll see you in the next episode.